the right honourable and learned gentleman to make an application for leave to propose a debate on a specific and important matter that should have urgent consideration under the terms of Standing Order number 24. The right honourable and learned member has up to 3 minutes in which to make his application. Mr. Dominic Grieve.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hope I may be briefer than that. The House is about to be prorogued for 5 weeks. 2 weeks after we return is the anticipated date on which we are going to leave the European Union. There is much which is left undebated, and in particular, we are not going to have an opportunity to ask the necessary questions of the government, both in relation to its own prepared documents under Yellowhammer, which it has prepared for its own use in relation to the risks of a no deal. And in addition to that, we are not going to have the opportunity to ask what I think are the necessary and unfortunately searching questions about the government's motives in proroguing this House and the potential difference between what they have said in public in this matter and what the evidence suggests is the reality. So, for those reasons, I would ask the opportunity, along with my honourable and right honourable friends and other members, to be able to debate this matter under Standing Order 24 in the terms set out, and I will not read it out here because everybody can have a copy, which includes both an opportunity of debate and an humble address to enable us to get the documents which otherwise we will have no prospect of seeing before the anticipated date of our departure from the EU. I will hope to take the opportunity in a few minutes, if the House agrees, to explain in detail why I think this is necessary, and I want to emphasise that in having done an SO24 linked to a humble address, I have not taken this matter lightly, and certainly not in a partisan way. And I will explain exactly why when I have an opportunity of developing those arguments. I think they're very serious issues to which this House must give the closest consideration.
The right honourable member asks leave to propose a debate on a specific and important matter that should have urgent consideration under the terms of Standing Order number 24, namely the matter of prorogation with the imminence of an exit from the European Union. I received the right honourable and learned gentleman's written application. I have listened carefully to what he said on the floor of the House. I am satisfied that the matter raised is proper to be discussed under Standing Order number 24. Has the right honourable and learned member the leave of the House? No! Very large number of members standing in support of the right honourable learned gentleman. I do note the very, very loud expression of opposition from the honourable gentleman member for Wellingborough is testament to the existence of more than enough support. Can I just say, and whether I can or not, I'm going to. I do know what I'm doing in these matters.
So do we.
And I do know the standing orders, and I do listen to the advice. Sometimes you get these pop-up characters who think they understand these matters on the basis of minimal familiarity with the said standing orders and presume to say that the rules have been broken. They are entitled to their opinions, but they suffer from the notable disadvantage of being completely wrong. I know what the rules are and what they allow, and this is absolutely in keeping with the standing orders. If there are people who don't like the subject matter and would prefer it not to be aired and judge that it's inconvenient, they're perfectly entitled to their view, but it's got nothing to do with the procedural propriety. Don't tell me, young man, from a sedentary position what I can and can't say. If you're not interested, leave the chamber. I'm not remotely interested in your pettifogging objection chuntered inelegantly from a sedentary position. The position is as I've described it, and quite frankly, young man, you can like it or lump it. The right honourable gentleman has obtained the leave of the House. The right honourable gentleman has obtained the people will understand that as far as the Speaker's concerned, his job is to stand up for the rights of the legislature. I never have been, am not, and never will be in the business of being bossed around by some footling member of the executive branch. The right honourable member has obtained the leave of the House. The debate will be held now as the first item of public business. And what I would say to the right honourable and learned gentleman is that the debate will last for 2 hours and it will arise on a motion that the House has considered the specified matter set out in the right honourable member's application. That comes after you, sure. You've got to hear okay. I now call, just before we come to the right honourable lady gentleman's debate, I now call the Leader of the Opposition to make an application for leave to propose a debate on a specific and important matter, another specific and important matter that should have urgent consideration under the terms of Standing Order number 24. The right honourable gentleman has up to 3 minutes in which to make such an application. The Leader of the Opposition, Mr Jeremy Corbyn.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'll be very brief because the whole House wants to get on to the important debate that you've just agreed to be held. What I want to ask for is a very urgent debate on what I consider to be a matter of overriding importance and seriousness. And the motion reads that this House has considered the welcome completion of all parliamentary stages of the European Withdrawal Act and has considered the matter of the importance of the rule of law and ministers' obligation to comply with the law. I welcome the passage of the Act that has just received its royal assent. However, Mr Speaker, there is very deep concern, not just across this House, but across the whole country, at the commitment of the government to abide by the obligations set out in that Act, and the outright statements in some quarters that they will disregard or seek to evade the law that has just received royal assent, therefore is an Act of Parliament. Therefore, Mr Speaker, I'm asking you to grant an urgent debate under Standing Order 24 on behalf of the people of this country that want to live in a democratic society where government abides by the rule of the law, and specifically whether the Prime Minister will obey the law that this House has just passed into law.
Thank you. The right honourable member asks leave to propose a debate on a specific and important matter that should have urgent consideration, namely the well completion of all parliamentary stages of the European Union Withdrawal Number 6 bill, sometimes colloquially known, probably in the pubs and clubs of the United Kingdom, as the Ben Letwin bill, and has considered the matter of the importance of the rule of law and ministers' obligation to uphold the rule of law. I have listened carefully to the application for the right honourable member. Adherence to the law. Goodness. Yes, I am satisfied that the matter raised on the last day before the prorogation of this Parliament is proper to be discussed under Standing Order number 24. Has the right honourable member the leave of the House? Thank you, colleagues on both sides of the House. The right honourable member has obtained the leave of the House. The debate, I advise the Leader of the Opposition and his colleagues, and indeed the House, will be held today as the second item of public business, immediately after the first SO24 debate in the name of the right honourable learned gentleman member for Beaconsfield. The Leader of the Opposition's debate will last for up to 90 minutes and will arise on a motion that the House has considered the specified matter set out in the right honourable member's application. Order! We now come to the motion in the name of Mr Dominic Grieve and others to be moved under Standing Order number 24. I remind the House that a paper with the terms of the motion has been distributed. To move the motion, I call Mr Dominic Grieve.
Thank you.